Welcome to Leading Ladies of Rio Rancho, brought to you by the Rio Rancho Observer. During this series, we will invite business and community leaders from Rio Rancho and its surrounding communities in Sandoval County for conversations on what they do, why they do it, and the issues they face. I'm your host, Tracy Goldeisen, editor of the Rio Rancho Observer. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Today's guest on Leading Ladies is Megan Garrigan. She is the co-owner of several Rio Rancho area restaurants. Megan, thank you for coming in. And do you just want to take a moment and talk about yourself and your restaurants that you have in the area?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me today. Yes. My husband and I live in Rio Rancho, and we own 3 restaurants currently, 2 in Rio Rancho and 1 in Corrales. So our first restaurant is called Lily and Liam Bistro. Our second restaurant is Upscale Rio, also in Rio Rancho. And then our third, most recently opened, is Bell's Urban Deli, and that's located in Corrales.
Okay. And can you tell us how you came to open multiple restaurants in Sandoval County over the last several years?
Sure. Yeah. Cliff Notes version. My husband is a chef and loves food, loves cooking, has always loved cooking. And it's always been his passion and his dream to open a restaurant. And so it was good timing for us, personally and professionally. And it was mid-2019, and we went for it. We decided to open a little bistro in Rio Rancho. We saw the need for a nice local breakfast lunch spot, and the timing worked out. So that's how the bistro was born.
That's one of the things we hear a lot is there's not a lot of local eateries. It's all chains, so I think people are welcoming to that concept that you guys brought in.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of room for restaurants in Rio Rancho and the west side. So we were excited to throw our hat in that ring and give it a try. So.
Okay. And so, I had a question down here. I think you already answered it. Did you select the Rio Rancho and Corrales communities because you already lived there and were part of the community? Yes,
absolutely. At that point, I had lived there for about 15 years. James had grown up there. So we were well enmeshed in the community. Our kids went to school, are still going to school in Rio Rancho. And prior to restaurant work, I worked in the Rio Rancho Public Schools school district.
Okay.
And then also working with individuals with disabilities as well.
Okay. Okay. Did you ever, before this happened, envision yourself as an entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur, sure. Yes, I could see that. Restaurant owner, that was something different, and that's certainly evolved over time of what that means for me. Yeah.
So, you said you opened your first one in 2019, probably just a few months before the world shut down for
October.
COVID.
Yeah, we had a good 5 months of what could have been normal, but that went away.
So how did you manage to come back what seems like stronger than before when so many small businesses struggled during that time?
We were so fortunate to have a lot of support from the community. We did have a couple good months of opening and strong production. And then once COVID hit, we were already connected with some local organizations that certainly supported us through that. The City of Rio Rancho, the Chamber of Commerce, we're also small. We're a small organization, and we were able to pivot and innovate, and that was crucial at that point. So I think all of the different skills that James and I had and the people around us had, we just pushed through and were able to make it work.
Okay. And then each of these local eateries, how do they differentiate from each other?
Yeah, so Lily and Liam Bistro is a breakfast lunch spot, and so it's fancy French, really. It's French technique with a New Mexico twist, and so we have some traditional items on the menu like huevos rancheros and the smothered breakfast burrito, of course, but then we also have things like Dutch babies, and a lot of people haven't heard of those, so
What are those?
So a Dutch baby, it's a German pancake, and it's a batter that it's a batter like an American pancake, but only thicker. It's more. It comes out more dense. So more butter, eggs, and they bake it in a hot cast iron skillet in the oven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it comes out and it's like kind of poofed up. And so we make small ones and larger size ones, and then you can fill it with either sweet or savory ingredients. So it's a nice versatile. It makes a nice versatile dish that we've had a lot of fun with.
Okay. And then what makes Upscale Rio unique?
Yeah, Upscale Rio is a bit different. That's hamburgers, burgers and fries and shakes and chicken tenders and mac and cheese and home style. So again, we have that fresh, made from scratch menu, but certainly a different type of menu than what we have at the bistro.
Food menu.
Yeah, exactly. I like to think of it as a little more accessible for people that aren't quite the foodies, or if you just like a good burger. I mean, Rio Rancho prior to this hasn't had just a burger spot, and so Upscale brings that.
Okay, and then what is it? Bell's Urban Deli and Corrales. What made you choose Corrales for that one, and then how does that stand out from the other two in your organization?
Yeah, we love Corrales. It's so gorgeous. Just such a beautiful landscape and open spaces, connection to the land and the farms, and the rural appeal to it. All three restaurants are very close together, actually, probably within about 5-6 minute drive of each other. So that's kind of unique. And we just happened upon this space that the landlord was renovating, and he's one of our regulars, and so reached out to us to see if we wanted to take a look, and it was a great fit for us. It's a small little deli. We do sandwiches primarily. We do have a brunch on Sundays where we do some eggs, but otherwise it's fresh made hoagies and brioche rolls, and then we have the deli meats and cheeses that we build the sandwiches with, and also sell the deli items retail too. So you can buy a jar of pickles, or
my son would love that.
They're very good. If you like pickles, you'll like our sandwiches. Yeah,
I'm not a pickle person, but my son is.
Yeah, the pickling, fermenting, curing, we do all of that down at Bell's.
Okay.
And then so some of that feeds into the other restaurants as well.
Okay. And then where did you come up with the names?
Well, Lily and Liam are the middle names of our kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's their namesake, I guess. And Upscale Burgers and Shakes was the original name. And that, when it was the pandemic time and we were shut down or open at limited capacity, we noticed that the drive-thrus were extremely busy.
Right.
And we're like, people wanting to eat that food, how do we make that food? And so through a ghost kitchen set up in the bistro in the evenings, we started selling burgers, and we already make our own breads, and so we just made brioche buns and grilled up some patties and made the toppings and sauces, and then Upscale was born. So Upscale it's an upscaled version of a standard fast food meal, basically.
Okay. And then where did the Bell's Urban come from?
So Bell's it's different just because it's not necessarily named after anyone or anything. It's a single syllable word. We can play off the word like, dinner bell or, belly, things like that. It's a close relation to Bella, which is beautiful in several languages. And and it's an urban deli in that you can find what you need there. So in the location where Bell's is at, it's a shared use building. So there's a yoga studio and a custom furniture and fabric store, and they'll be opening a refillery there soon. So it's a variety of different things that people can go to find what they need, as well as, deli, if you want to buy half a pound of turkey and some sliced cheeses, you can certainly get that at the deli as well. So that's what makes that urban.
Okay. And then
the menus, how did you come to craft the menus, and who created, you said your husband's a chef, so did he create the recipes for everything, or how did that all come together?
Yeah, so it originates from James, and he's certainly a chef. I can cook, but I'm not a chef. Yeah, and he's also an artist too. So the decor, the ambiance, the menu, that all originates from him. But we've certainly over time have evolved, and our top chefs and managers certainly bring a lot to the table too, as far as dishes and things like that.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah.
And then, so what's your role within the restaurant? Is it more on the business end, or?
Yeah. So my background is pretty varied. I am I'm a board certified behavior analyst. So I'm a BCBA. And what that means is I study human behavior. And so I previously worked with students with autism in the public schools and then in private clinic setting. And then now my work with human behavior is related to business and organizations. So that organizational behavior management.
Okay.
There's a lot of behavior that goes on with working with your hands and working with food and working with staff and as well as our guests. So it's the operations and the production is where I generally focus at.
And it's my understanding that everything in the restaurants is made from scratch.
Primarily, yeah, almost everything. We don't make our own ketchup. That one they haven't done. They were testing out American cheese actually today. I've never.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently you can make that from scratch. So they were trying that out. Usually it's cheddar cheese that we use with the burgers, but they've got some experimenting going. So a lot of science and experimentation goes on in our restaurants with that made from scratch.
Interesting. I've been, we were talking about before the show, I've been to Upscale Rio a couple of times. And one of the things I've discovered there is the mini chicken tenders and the green chili mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. Very yummy. Do you have any favorite dishes from the restaurants?
I always say it depends on the day because there's such a variety. We can choose wherever. So if I'm feeling burgers and fries and some fried food, then I'm a sucker for mac and cheese. Absolutely. And a good burger is hard to pass up. But we have some beautiful plates at Bistro as well as Bell's as well. So like today, I think it was a turkey cheddar hoagie sandwich, and I really do enjoy those Dutch babies as well at the Bistro. There's some nice lean meats as well. We do some nice things there with tuna and salmon. So it just kind of depends on the day.
What you're in the mood for.
Yes.
What would you say are the biggest challenges in running a restaurant?
It also depends on the day, I think. There's so many elements and pieces to restaurants. You have a lot of vendors that are in and out of the restaurants that we're purchasing from and developing relationships with. We have a lot of staff that we work very hard to train and empower and bring forth those skills that we're looking for to execute for the job, but also working within their capacities to help empower and inspire them. So at my role, I generally work with the managers and give them support to work more closely with the direct staff, although I am very close with everyone regardless too. So most difficult thing, I don't know. I don't know if you can beat COVID and shut down and then opening up overnight and then changing again and, just making it through that roller coaster. We cut our teeth on that. And so sometimes challenges seem insurmountable, but when you have that community within the organizations and the restaurants, it helps keep you going. So.
Okay. Is there more expansion on the horizon, or you just kind of taking it day by day?
Nothing official. I am looking forward to slowing down. we'll certainly say that. But yeah, when you come across an opportunity, it's sometimes, it's hard to say no, and making that informed decision and vetting the process and the different angles and avenues that the opportunity is presenting. We enjoy doing that. So, nothing official to announce yet as far as expansions go, but potentially.
If the right opportunity arose.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Are there any other ways you're involved in or give back to the community besides offering some, great local eateries?
Well, with the changes from COVID, I feel like we're getting our feet under us. We had the one restaurant relocate. We had another one just open. And so that's a lot of moving parts. And I've really had to pull back my community involvement from that, from what I was doing prior. But we do host multiple groups at the restaurant. We're very close with the Rotary group up in Rio Rancho and the Kiwanis Club. We work closely with the Chamber of Commerce and participate in several events and things with them. Yeah. I'm one of the founding members of a very cool organization called Elevate the Spectrum.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. And I've stepped away from that board and from that work for a while. But it doesn't mean I'm out completely. And, we look forward to continuing to build opportunities to support organizations and families, particularly individuals with disabilities. Yeah. We do work with supported employment agencies such as Adelante and Mandy's Farm to employ people with disabilities in our restaurants. So, and otherwise, everyone needs to eat. And so restaurants are a wonderful gathering place.
They are.
Whether it's, to celebrate someone else's successes or to celebrate our own, or just to provide that place where people can go and feel seen and heard and connect with our staff. And it's a give and take too. I think just being a restaurant, there's an element of community service and involvement.
Yeah. And gives people a place to go. And I mean, look at how vital restaurants are in so many of the sitcoms that you see out there. They all have their go-to place.
Right, exactly. Yes. And you get to know people in your community as well. And we never talk about our restaurants as, we're a family and things like that. I think that's exploitative. But we are a community and communities support each other. So,
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say that we haven't gotten to yet in all of this?
I think, there's so many fun things on the horizon with the restaurants. We have tremendous amount of talent in the kitchens. And these are chef-run restaurants. The restaurants are run from the kitchen and from the people producing the food. And so there's a lot of fun things coming out this spring and through the summer into the fall. So keep an eye on the social media. We do post on our Instagram and Facebook, and we can be very accessible that way if anyone wants to reach out to us for any caterings or things like that. But
And what do they search for on those platforms?
Just the names of the restaurants.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We should be pretty easy to find. I think Google Maps now gets us everywhere. It's not as easy as you would think to set those up, but I think we've got it down. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we had to, when we moved, we had to alert Google to some things too.
Verify we're real people. So.
Yeah. Get that address changed, the picture changed. No, we're not permanently closed.
Yes. Yeah. All of the updates. And we do all of that in-house ourselves. We're still, we may have 3 restaurants, but we're still a very small business.
Right. But that's what gives it the personal touch when you come in too.
Yeah, exactly. And it helps keep us connected to the people within our communities as well that we serve, I think. So.
Yeah, well, great. Well, thank you so much again for coming in and talking with us today. It's been really fun. And, gonna have to all satisfy our French or comfort food craving or sandwich craving. You got a place to do it now.
That's right.
That's locally owned.
That's right. Come check it out. It's worth a look.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It was so nice having you here, and wish you luck with all of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us for Leading Ladies of Rio Rancho from the Rio Rancho Observer. We hope you join us for future episodes, and if you or someone you know would like to be a guest, let us know by emailing editor@rrobserver.com. Again, I'm Tracy Goldeisen, editor of the Rio Rancho Observer. We appreciate you watching and listening. Have a great day.